Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we got a new ball for you. So we're going to be going over the DV8 Double Trouble. So this is a new pearl mid-range ball from DV8. Now, DV8 being the leader in no-thumb bowling balls and cores and their development, they're really focused around a no-thumb bowler. So this is no different. Now, just like the DV8 Dark Side Curse. All right, now just like the DV8 Dark Side Curse, what we're gonna be doing today is throwing it two-handed. Now, if you guys watched my last video, or if you ever heard me talking about bowling, I am not a two-hander. So I average probably around $180 because I'm good at spares two-handed, but it's not very great, to be honest. So what I've been doing is just learning the sport of two-handed, and since this channel is sponsored, thank you, from Brunswick, more specifically DV8, to do their two-fingered bowling balls, we're gonna give it a shot, just give you guys an idea on, you know, more of a beginner type bowler like myself, trying to throw two-handed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bowling on our house shot. This is our same shot we've always been bowling on. We're gonna go ahead and throw some shots up 5, 10, 15. Now, considering I have no ball speed two-handed, 5 board, 10 board, probably ain't gonna work. I'm probably gonna be pretty far left like a traditional beginner two-handed bowler. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so on the first shot, we're gonna get it going up 5. If you guys have ever watched me throw two-handed, you know I'm not gonna have ball speed, so this probably is not gonna work. Oh, another thing is too, we don't have Specto today. We are working on getting it back, but for the time being, we will not have Specto, unfortunately. I don't even know where to aim going this far right, jeez. Yep, that hooked immediately. Yeah. I mean, to be expected. I mean, house shot of 5. I don't care what I'm throwing except for urethane. It ain't probably gonna work. So we're gonna go ahead and skip. We're gonna go ahead and move left a little bit more. Try to stay right at third arrow, try to throw some strikes, and then keep moving left across the lane. Now, I'm still throwing 14 pounds, just so you guys know. So that means this ball has an RG of 2.52 and a diff of 0.045, I believe, right in the middle of that 4s. So a higher RG, and especially in a 14, a mid-tier high, and then the diff is definitely moderate, very danger zone like, very much mid-tier. Even the Pulse had a mid-tier core, but obviously Coverstocks are much different. All right, let's move across the lane a little bit. Like I said, I don't got ball speed. All right, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Now what we're gonna be doing with this ball, just like we did on the DV8 Dark Side Curse, is I'm gonna bowl two-handed. Not gonna be very well, we're not gonna see too many strikes, but after this part of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a thumb into it, and then we'll do the rest of the video with my thumb in the ball like I can actually do. All right, so now what we're gonna do different, we're gonna keep moving left across the lane. I'm gonna try to still stay right at 4th arrow, but definitely left to 3rd. That's my aiming two-handed, is just areas. All right, got a little bit inside, dropped it a little bit. I will say for you two-handed people, like, it's not easy. Like, getting rev rate's easy, but controlling it, like, is so difficult. So for a lot of your two-handed bowlers, really look for bowling balls that offer control, especially if you're more of a beginner. That's why two-handers love things like urethane or even the NUs from Storm Concepts. Those like-minded reactive resins tend to work pretty well for two-handers, mostly because they need control. I think there's a prayer. I think that's about all I got. Oh God. I have been working on this. It might not look like it, but kudos to Darren Tang. Yeah. I'm just trying to do too many things, I think. I don't know. All right, we're gonna try to do this shot again, throw it good. Well, throw it better, I don't know about good. I don't know if that's possible right now, but. All right, so either way, I can't hit the pocket. We're gonna keep moving left. I just don't wanna go so far left, you're like, well, you're just hooking the whole lane. But either way, we can already see that this ball is quite responsive down lane, very, very responsive. It does have a HK22 Havoc Pearl on it. The moderate still has HK22 in it, which makes it more responsive, but it's still a Pearl. It's still gonna wanna get down lane. With that higher RG, it's gonna promote length. I'm really thinking for this ball, it's gonna be very similar. I really think with this ball, it's gonna be really good for your transition, maybe transition even into burn, depending on how you have it laid out. Now this one, with my PAP two-handed, is a 5x4 by 2.5. Now, since I'm drilling this one-handed later, I did have to put a layout on it that goes two-handed to one-handed. Layouts are completely different once you put your thumb in the ball. So I tried to keep it to where it's usable both ways, and that's the layout I came to. Nice, I struck in a ball review. Woo! I just trying to like, at this point, I'm just looking at the lane of like, just get the ball motion. I don't care how I look or try to, like, if I could throw like Ethan Fiore, I'd do it in a heartbeat, but it's nice, that ain't me. Nice. Yeah, so definitely bigger angles. This ball is not gonna wanna stay in front of you. It's gonna be more of that right to left shape where you're creating a lot more response down lane. When you're looking for something that gets through the heads more easily, you'll be looking at something like this. Now, if I didn't do this one two-handed, I will say, or one two-handed into one-handed, more than likely, if you go pretty high with this pin, especially longer pin to paps and stuff, you can get it a little bit more in front of you, where it flares a little bit more, blends that lane out. For the time being, for what we have right now, there's probably a little too much volume where I'm playing to create smooth, controllable ball motion, not hockey sticks. So where I'm playing and what this ball is probably not suitable. However, it's ball review, so let's have some fun. I think I was standing here. Nice, getting better at it. So I'm gonna throw a couple more shots. We're just, again, two-handed, just playing around, just going over what the ball is, the layout, stuff like that. Again, I'm not a two-handed bowler. If you think you're gonna watch good shots the first half of this, you're not, but have some fun with it, because I know I am. Oh, go ball. I think I had 40 degrees of rotation. That didn't work out. All right, we're gonna throw one more, and then we're gonna go ahead and throw a thumb into it, and we'll get back onto the lanes. I will say my thumb has never felt better. All right, that's about right. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the pro shop. We're gonna throw our Jopo in it, get our thumb in the ball, and then hopefully throw some more strikes. We'll be right back. And we're back, and we have a thumb hole in the Double Trouble. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same type of ball review. I just did two-handed, but with my thumb in the ball, like I actually know how to throw a ball. So you should probably see a couple more strikes in this one, at least I hope. But we're gonna get a good idea on what this ball does with your thumb in the ball. So let's go ahead, start going up 5 board, move across the lane, see where this ball is most comfortable. All right, so we're gonna go throw a shot up 5. Now, if you guys watch the two-handed portion of this, we know that this ball is probably not gonna like this, but we'll watch it, Brooklyn. Yeah, to be expected. Checks as soon as it sees friction. In this case, it was about 10 feet. So we're gonna move left. I'm probably gonna double jump second arrow just because with this ball being a middle upper tier symmetric pearl, more left to right shape is probably what this ball likes. Traditionally it has, so we're gonna keep playing with that. So we're probably gonna double jump second arrow, get a little bit further left. And I pulled it and it held right into the ollie oil. So this ball with my thumb in it, so when I drill it two-handed, one-handed, as many of you know, two-handed layouts physically are much different where you're placing the fingers in correlation to the pin and all that compared to one-handed with your thumb in the ball. Now, outside of my PAPs being different, two-handed to one-handed, having drillings that match both two-handed, one-handed is a little bit more difficult. Two-handers usually don't have a pin down layout virtually ever. One-handers do. For this particular case, with this ball, before it was a 5-inch pin to pap. Right now for my one-handed, this is a 60 by 4 3/4 by 20. Now 20, I don't typically put too high up simply because my game makes balls very responsive. Pin up layouts make them even more responsive to friction. Sometimes it can get me in trouble, but especially on something like this where it's a pearl, it's already susceptible to sparking off friction. But so far what I've seen with this, it is blend out the mid lane a little bit more than like a pin down ball would. It slows down a little bit more and it is more responsive to friction. So I'm trying to find a layout that was conducive for two-handed and one-handed, really narrows down what I can do with the bowling ball as far as drillings go without plugging. So that's why we went with a short pin to center of grip. for the two-handed, and as far as one-handed goes, it's pretty traditional, but it does get the pin a little higher than what I'm used to, at least on a bowl like this. A lot of my sims go in like the ring finger. They can go up, but usually they're over a little bit further just to help with length. Usually with a layout like this, it makes it very responsive in the mid lane. So we're gonna keep taking a look at that. All right, so that's struck. We're gonna move a little bit further left. Very nice. Came to the back of it quite a bit setup. But with this particular layout, with my thumb in the ball, the undrilled diff is like 0.045. If I had to guess, this is probably touching the 0.050s, maybe a little higher than that. So it definitely increased diff for sure. All right, move left just a little bit more. Like I said, I just keep cruising across the lane until I find that this ball just isn't comfortable, or I start wrapping 10s, and then I get a good idea on where this ball likes to play. Oh, that's hooking. So you can see it is pretty quick to respond. It is a pearl, right? Symmetric, likes to continue quite a bit off that friction. So when I can open the lane up and feel like I can get free hook right, now this is house shot, I have free hook right, but if you're bowling on something a little harder, you can probably throw this ball once the right side, if you're right-handed, once the outsides start breaking down a little bit, you have that free hook to blend off of. If you throw this ball on too much volume, what you're gonna see is it's either going to duck hook, which is when it gets to the mid lane, it doesn't go through its precession. It just basically slows down immediately and starts changing direction instead of just slowing down in that mid lane. So right now, I'm sure I'm gonna keep going left. It's gonna keep getting sharper and sharper because I'm moving into all that volume. But as long as I can get it down lane, it should be a little bit more controllable. I wouldn't say ideal, but more controllable. Yeah, so it does definitely create a lot of angle, as you guys can see. I know I'm really gonna like this ball when I can open the lane up. When there's still a moderate amount of volume, like it's still a stronger ball, mid-tier diff, but with the drilling I put on it, makes it a little bit stronger. So I'd say it's like a middle to heavy, I wouldn't say heavy volume, don't get me wrong. It still needs friction, but definitely it needs some type of volume. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will just check off friction because of that pin-out layout. Really makes the ball want to respond to friction no matter where that friction is, if it's at 5 feet or if it's at 50 feet, right? All right, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna make some changes now, reduce rev rate or increase speed, just to make sure the ball goes to the pins properly. On this one, I'm gonna go ahead and increase speed because it's slowing down a lot, so I don't think it's gonna go through a break point. Yeah, just toss out the window a little, but yeah, usually on our house shot like this, on like fresh, to give you guys an example, I'm usually using something like a danger zone, hammerhead, pulse, something very much more mid-tier, solid, very predictable. We don't have a ton of volume, but we have plenty. We do have plenty of volume on this shot. But in general, like something like this, it just might get too far down lane on fresh. Like that one skated through a little bit, but I did send it a little bit too far right. Let's go ahead and throw some more shots. Step on his throat. Yeah. All right, so we're getting to the point where it is just burning up a lot of energy to get it back to that pocket. I think I'm a little too far left. It's crossing a little too many boards and starting to get pretty responsive down lane. So I want to blend that mids out a little bit more. So we're going to move back right a little bit, find a little bit more friction in that mid lane. It's been a hot second since I left one of those in the video. All right, well, that looked much better. Blend the mid lane out. Bad rack, I don't know. All right, we're gonna do it again because that looked great and I would like to strike. That was like a 3-board right move, 5-board right move from that soft 10 pin I almost left. Yep, so yeah, as you can see on the back end, the way it goes to the pins, a lot of continuation, still symmetric. Those pinup layouts can definitely reduce the continuation sometimes, but we got so much volume right now, the ball is storing plenty of energy. Throw another one, so we're gonna stay in the same spot. Nice. All right, so we're gonna move across the lane, we'll move back right a little bit. I'll start tricking it a little bit, using more touch to play different parts of the lane just for you guys to see. All right, we're gonna move another 3 or 4 right. This one, I'm going to actually reduce hand. I feel like if I get it Well, you know, let's do two things. Let's go increase speed. Don't do anything with the hand, and then next one we'll see if it works. Try something. Not bad. Got it in a little bit. Probably saw a little bit more friction. Just got behind the head pin, but not too bad. We're gonna go ahead and now get our speed back to default, and then reduce rev rate just to see what it does. Yeah, a little bit better. I feel like that's gonna be more controllable for the mid lane right now. Increasing speed, I feel like the ball is a little too clean with that Pearl cover stock, and went through the break point a little bit, but we're gonna truck ride a little bit more. This is another 3 or 4 boards. We're gonna be aiming around 15, 14, but on this one, I will be reducing rev rate for sure. Much better. So far, as far as the ball going through the pins, it does seem like it likes, obviously still very much a left to right shape, but for this pattern currently, it does want to see a little bit more friction, which is great. This ball is definitely meant to see some type of friction. Is it the weakest ball in the world? No. Stuff like the dark side has a weaker core to it. Troublemaker, double trouble, a little bit. So I'm not upset about that at all. I do want it to be able to see some type of friction, but it just doesn't need to be burned, which is great. Same shot, same shot. Hook. Nice, nice. Really having to come up the back of it a little bit just to keep it in front of me. But so far, threw a lot more strikes than two-handed, so that's really good. Ace is still better two-handed than I am, so that's good. But in general, I really enjoying this ball. The color schemes on it, pretty nice. I'll definitely know more. If you guys ever watch my baller videos, I'm not gonna be like best ball in the world. This creates the sharpest shapes, etc., etc. No definitive. If you guys enjoy the ball shape, that's what you're gonna be looking for. If that's like, hey, I'm looking for that, maybe I have a little bit less rev rate than I do, blah, blah, blah. But if that still fits your category that you're looking for, then phenomenal. And the color scheme, like I mentioned, phenomenal. It's really, really good. So let's go, we're gonna go right. We're gonna go pretty far right. I'm really gonna have to reduce some hand position and increase speed a little bit. Nice. So as I move right, the more I'm realizing that this ball really does enjoy some friction. Yes, is it pretty left to right? Absolutely. But the fact that it can blend the lane out pretty easily, even playing in all that friction with on a house pattern, it tells me that it's gonna be really, really good for like medium volume. On this particular house pattern, heavy volume definitely is not the word to use, but I wouldn't say it's, where was I going with that, Ace? I know, I forgot. My boy's running on 30 minutes of sleep like a psycho, and yeah, and I'm just old, so. But yeah, so if you're looking for a ball that's, you know, clean through the heads, but still needs friction, like maybe you're a bowling alley where you have old lanes, so even if it is fresh, as long as it sees some friction throughout the first 40 feet, this ball should be pretty good. If you're doing like a pin down layout or something like that, you know, you're definitely gonna see a smoother overall shape. This ball does slow down and respond quite quickly, creates a lot of angle. If you do want to calm that down a little bit, you can talk to your pro shop operator about maybe doing a pin down versus mine, which is a very aggressive layout, especially for me as a bowler. You know, traditionally I maybe wouldn't do this ball this way, but for the fun of it, to throw it two-handed, hopefully you guys enjoyed your time just watching me suck two-handed, but give you a good idea on what the ball does when I'm supposed to be throwing it the way I'm supposed to be throwing it. So let's go ahead and throw a few more shots and then we'll go ahead and conclude with the video. We're gonna do the same shot, just somewhere around second arrow. Oh no. Oh yeah. I gotta get better at that. I just take a hand out and stuff. Anyways, that looked pretty good. Again, it just still needs some friction. So I feel like if I get too far left, we're gonna start wrapping those 10s. I'm gonna see if I can do it actually on purpose, just to illustrate with what I'm talking about. So when you leave a 10 pin, more specifically a wrap 10, usually your ball gets behind the head pin, meaning your ball got a little too far down lane, responded the way you wanted it to respond, but it just got crept up behind the head pin. So we're gonna try to create that here. I really gotta send it fast and right. The ball with the pin-up layout just slows down so much. I love it, it's really, really good, but right now trying to leave a 10 pin is a little harder. All right, increase speed a little bit. I can buck it. All right, so that's gonna be a little bit more difficult than I thought. But in general, if you guys are looking for a mid-tier symmetric pearl, something that you do need a little bit of friction for, but you can throw in a little bit heavier volumes than something like a dark side. The Double Trouble is what you're looking for. The colors on it, phenomenal. DV8's really doing a great job with their cores. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention on this ball. With the cores that DV8's releasing, specifically around two-handers, they put indentations inside the core so you can actually drill it and not affect the core in any way. We were not able to accomplish that, especially with a thumb in the ball, because I was trying to make it two-handed and one-handed, so it makes it a little different. I think in the future, maybe if I do another one that's two-handed, one-handed, what I'll do is I'll drill it and not hit the core. And then at that point, I can then plug it and feel more confident in that, since I haven't affected the numbers. I haven't drilled into the core, so I haven't affected the post-drilling numbers. I should be able to plug it and redo a fitment that actually, might be a little bit more conducive to me, but also be able to take advantage of not hitting that core, which makes post-drilling numbers a lot easier to guesstimate. So maybe in the future I'll do that. But if you guys have any comments about one-handed, two-handed, my ball reviews, just trying to do it, like I said, have some fun. I'm not here to say, hey, this is the greatest ball in the world. That's something that you guys can figure out. But if you guys need some information on how a ball rolls and maybe understand some of the terminology, if I can help you with that, I'm doing my job well. So with that said, this was the review of the brand new DV8 Double Trouble Symmetric Pearl, very much mid-tier type of bowling ball. If you guys are interested in picking one of these up, hop online or go over to your local pro shop and pick one up. They come out here in 2 weeks, I believe. They just announced, and we're recording the day that they were announced, but we should have this video up here shortly. So with that said, my name is Jason Robarge. We'll rev it up bowling. Much love. Peace.